Okay, all right. Good evening and welcome to the North Bend City Council meeting for January 14th at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and it's the first of the year. Do we do roll call first? Should we do that very first or go straight into the Pledge of Allegiance?
It's up to you.
You know what? I'm going to ask Sergeant Kenny to help stand with his family and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we will take roll call.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. Okay, now we'll go ahead and after we've done the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll ask our city reporter to help us with our roll call.
Councilor Jones.
Here.
Councilor Hamilton.
Here.
Councilor Gargoyle.
Here.
Mayor Ingleby.
Here.
Councilor Schultz.
Present.
Councilor Slater.
Present.
Councilor Forrest. Here. Thank you.
All right. Next item of business, we have some ceremonial items. Number A is the introduction of a newly promoted patrol sergeant. And I'm going to go ahead and let the city administrator begin with this. Our police chief. Okay, now I have too close now.
So tonight, we're going to have Sergeant Nick White come up. Wanted to introduce Nick to the council as well as to our community. Nick has been with us for about 7 years now, I think, just over 7 years. He was recently promoted. He's been serving as a sergeant now for about the last month due to the holidays and some scheduling conflicts. We weren't able to do this kind of right at the moment in which he was promoted. But Nick has been the community resource officer for us in the past. Did a wonderful job with that and has been actively training the new community resource officer, Officer Soulsby. Nick has been in the area for quite some time. He brings quite a bit of experience, particularly supervisory experience from his time with the U.S. Marines. He also was a corrections officer with the Shutters Creek Prison before he came to North Bend to the police department. So we are expecting some great things. Another thing that's kind of typical for leadership development is he's currently enrolled and basically in pursuit of his bachelor's degree from Richland University online, and that takes a lot of dedication, as I'm sure everyone that has attended college courses, especially holding down a full-time job. But that goes above and beyond what is just the minimum expectations for him. But we do have great expectations as far as where he is going to lead the department in the future in his new position. So I guess that I introduce you to Nick White.
All right. So are we going to do any formal pictures this evening?
That's up to you all. Sure.
I
We love photos.
Come on, let's get this council to stand up and join down here and get photos. You know. We gotta keep them over here active, so thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, all right. Chief, why don't you come on in here too? There we go. Yeah, scooch in.
It's a lot of black.
Best color ever. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Wide angle lens go.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Okay, all right.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Don't go too far, because we do have another ceremonial item as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is that you next on the second item?
Yes.
Okay. We'll stand by.
So next, I'm going to have Sergeant Pat Kinney come up. So Sergeant Kinney is, he would be, I guess, what a lot of people like me would definitely refer to as a full-time. He's been with the department for over 20 years now. He's been serving as a patrol sergeant for almost 3 years, I think, right at about 3 reading, so pretty close, actually. Sergeant Kenny has filled in a lot of different positions throughout the department. The list is long. But what, again, we talked a little bit with Sergeant White. The pursuit of leadership development is something that officers, the ones that are really dedicated and want to promote within the department and see their career go on to supervisory levels and beyond, they take on just again on their own, search out and look for classes. Tonight I am presenting him an award from the FBI's LEDA, which LEDA stands for Law Enforcement Executive Development Association. This is the Leadership Trilogy course, and it's for his successful completion of the Supervisor Leadership Institute, the Command Leadership Institute, Executive Leadership Institute, and it's presented by Joel F. Fitzgerald, Senior, PhD, who is the president of LEDA. These courses it's a week, about 4.5 days actually, of time that an 8-hour course each day, except of course for the half day, that these officers sit through this course. They're typically a college level, basically instruction, and it takes a great deal of dedication to do that. And again, this isn't something that Sergeant Kenny had to do, but he recognized it as a significant achievement, and it's going to go far as serving him in the different levels that he is. And I think you even started this well before you even became drill sergeant.
It was about 4.5, 5 years ago, I think, when I began it.
Exactly. Awesome. Sergeant Kenny also is enrolled with Bushnell University and pursuing his bachelor's degree at least. Again, just a great example of our officers looking to better themselves, and particularly professionally, but also in other areas of their lives that education brings to the table. So, Pat, with that, I'm going to give you this beautiful award along with the ribbon for your decorations. And there you go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So, just to take a quick second, doing stuff like this, whether it's LEDA or OEDI or the FBI National Academy, we couldn't do this as officers without our administration support, without the support of our families, without the support of the other officers and sergeants that are on duty that have to take up our place in our absence while we're doing these courses. So I'm proud of the achievement. The training was absolutely awesome, but I'm more proud and more thankful of the support all the way around that I've had to do this, and look forward to supporting Sergeant White, Officer Janig, the other staff members that are going through courses like this. It just betters the department and the city all the way around. Thank you very much.
I'll get on this side of you. Chief can get on this side. Why don't you guys all come in? We'll get a photo with this award. And then I will let you know, after we're done with the ceremony, I don't believe one more that's not on the agenda, so don't go too far. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
It's 2025, we're starting now with all the exciting
All right,
things.
see if you can hold that a little bit more. There we go. Oops. All right, here goes. Okay, do you want the other officers with you?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. So council.
Any
don't go too
family?
far.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, let's hold that so I don't have the glare is what I'm worried about. All right, here goes. I apologize, I always tell folks I know it looks like I'm taking a gazillion photos, I am, because it's the blinks or the, someone swallowed or something, it's always something, so. All right, anybody else with you, Al Sergeant?
Yes. Okay,
Is that
so hang tight, council, because I do have another recognition that I want to give. Mr. City Administrator, you're okay if I do this one now? Okay. All right, perfect. So we have one more item of recognition that we want to celebrate tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and call up our city recorder, Macy. Yeah. Macy, if you would go ahead and join me up here tonight. So tonight I have the honor of recognizing an incredible achievement, but by one of our own. And our city recorder, Macy Janig, has earned the prestigious Certified Municipal Clerk CMC designation for the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. So that is a lot to say, and I want to tell you like a little bit about what a CMC designation is. And these flowers are for you. So they're very heavy, so I'm going to just make you stand here. Perfect. Yes. So this is really important, and we just want to say thank you so much for investing in yourself and everybody here. When we have these employees who make investments in themselves, then they end up making investments in our community. So a CMC designation is a mark of excellence in the municipal clerk's profession. It's awarded by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks, IMC, a global organization for municipal clerks. This recognition goes to professionals who meet rigorous educational requirements, complete sustainable training, make significant contributions to their local government, community, and state. And again, this is very significant to the city of North Bend. It reflects Macy's dedication to professional development and her commitment to excellence. It enhances our city's ability to deliver efficient and transparent and responsive government services. It demonstrates that North Bend is a leader in good governance and professionalism, and it strengthens the trust between our local government and our community. We want to just highlight the leadership and expertise that Macy has taken in her role as city recorder, her commitment to ensuring transparency and efficiency in city operations, her tireless professionalism to the residents of North Bend with integrity and professionalism. She never misses a beat and really takes care of not only the council, but really the entire community. I see your interactions with everyone, and we want to say how much we appreciate you. So the IIMC president also said that CMC designation is a mark of distinction. It reflects a high standard of knowledge and professional achievement and a commitment to serving communities with excellence. And so it is wonderful that you have earned this honor. So we want to just close with gratitude and say that on behalf of the City Council, the staff, and of course the residents of North Bend, we congratulate you on this incredible accomplishment, that your dedications inspire all of us, and we're proud to have you as part of our team.
Thank you.
So let's give Macy a big round of applause. I'm so proud of you, and I'm going to see if we can hold both of these things, call our council up, and maybe I can help you on that. Let's get a picture with the council and congratulate Macy here. Yeah.
It's like a workout.
Hey, Jerry.
So good. Yeah, I'll kind of help you hold it like that. Yes.
Yeah, lots of photos. Wow.
You tell us how we look here.
You look marvelous. There you go. All right, here we go. All right,
Okay, all right, congratulations.
thanks.
There we go, we're all warmed up. All right. So, well, let's go ahead and continue on with our agenda. Number 4 is our consent calendar. Is there a motion from the council?
I move to accept the consent calendar as written.
Okay,
Second.
a first from Councilor Jones and a second from Councilor Hamilton. Any discussion? All in favor of the consent calendar being approved as accepted, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 5 on the agenda is our public comment. I believe we have 2 people here in person tonight, nobody online. And we'll go ahead and take a moment here to say thank you for participating in public comment this evening. The public comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. Each person will have 3 minutes to speak. Our governing body takes the input into consideration. However, in observance of Oregon open meeting laws, it's not a time for dialogue, but rather a time for us to listen to you. Our city administrator and city recorder are taking notes of any action that is needed. So our first up is Mr. Dean Lunder. Dean, would you like to go first? All right, so we have, if you want to go ahead and come on forward and sit at the chair, there's a microphone right there, or the round thing is the microphone.
Hi.
And you can, it might be easier if you sit because then we could hear you probably a little bit better into the mic.
Oh, okay. I would like to give this year's tide book to anyone.
All right,
My
thank
name
you.
and number is on the tide book.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah.
this is for you.
okay, we got a type book and a map here.
This is
Thank
kind
you.
of Business cards. So, and this one goes to the public works guy. There you go, pal. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, and thank you for inviting or letting me and my buddy Mike Powder, who is going to speak also, to your council meeting, and Happy New Year. We've been working on a project that's been going on for over 10 years that was started before I ever came down here, that was to connect the boardwalk with a pedestrian bike paths. And so my background is the fire department, San Francisco Fire, and pedestrian safety and bike safety. And my school is out there at the old boat building center. I bought that for a kid. I'm trying to give it to a youth program. And we also bought the old Union Oil terminal dock across from the new Planet Fitness on the waterfront. And Mike and I rode down to Florida to your waterfront here in North Bend, and it is fabulous. It is so tranquilo. We couldn't believe it. So that's what we're working on. We're trying to get ODOT. I'm sorry. We're trying to get ODOT to strike 101 to do that. Now this is a letter that I wrote to ODOT, and it's pretty formal deal. If you could share that.
We'll have our city recorder in to the.
Thank you. It's a formal notification to Oregon Division of Transportation about safety issues, and the map that I gave you shows the ODOT's preferred bike path up. Well, I don't know how it goes around this block, but it goes up Virginia, which is kind of a flat cat road, and then it goes on Broadway, which is part of North Bend also, and there's no striping, no signage, and the sidewalks have power poles in the middle of the sidewalks. And I think that North Bend could actually lean on ODOT, because that is a state highway, and it's their lookout, because they kept telling Coos Bay, well, it's gonna cost all this money to cross Market and 101 North and stuff. It's their lookout. That's 101, and that's like a Highway 54 or something. So anyway, so thank you so much, and if you can, anyone that wants to find out more about our nature study out there or our bike pedestrian paths, feel free to call me.
All right.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay. All right, next up for public comment, we have Mike. And it is Powders. Yeah. Mike, thank you for joining us today. If you want to take a seat at the table there, those brown discs are microphones.
Oh, this is fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, sitting down and the whole works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Mike Powder. I live in Coos Bay. When COVID hit, I got excited and got myself an electric bike. And first thing I did was started riding around. Then all of a sudden I realized how bad the road situation is for bikes and pedestrians in the Coos Bay, North Bend area. So I've been hounding on it and trying to bring it to a lot of attention. We've been working with ODOT to see what we can do to improve that. We seem to be hitting a lot of brick walls, but riding my bike around, I found it extremely dangerous. The roads are too fast and everything, so I've more or less gone down a whole path of trying to get some changes made. I personally think that between North Bend and Coos Bay, 101 does not need to be 45 miles an hour if you're going to share that road with bicycles. It's too dangerous. Coos Bay has very little safe bike infrastructure. North Bend has almost zero, but there are two pieces of bike lanes in North Bend. And one is by Virginia and 101, and the other's across the street in front of the casino. And they should be painted out. They're just, I've tried to ride my bike on them. They're criminal. They're very, very dangerous. I know that's probably ODOT, but in my opinion, it's, I've seen people ride their bike on 101 and they gotta be nuts. They have to be nuts. So that's been my cause, is getting the message out, to try to get a lot of change going. I've ridden my bike around everywhere there is around Coos Bay, all the way out to past Charleston and up there. And even going out to Charleston, you know, if you want to take your bike to Sunset Beach, which is a tourist area, if you ride your bike on that road, that's 45 miles an hour road there. You got driveways and you got people walking to the beach and stuff like that. It's insane. But I've hounded it and I keep repeating myself, so maybe something will sink in. There are some parts of 101 down there by where it comes out of Coos Bay, by the hotel there, and by the new buildings there. It's the sign says 45 miles an hour. They've had something like 11 rollover accidents there and 1 fatality. And I said that's too fast. And it's insane, but it falls on deaf ears. Everybody thinks it's great, you know. They spend a lot of money on so-called safety. The state of Oregon has been pumping money into these ADA ramps. But if you take a look at the ADA ramps on 101, you're basically asking people in wheelchairs to get on this, go down and cross over 4 lanes of 101. A lot of money's gone on that, very little thought's gone into it. But, you know, I try to bring that sort of stuff to people's attention. I understand about 30% of the United States population doesn't drive, either too young, too old, disabled or whatever. So there's nothing, you know, it needs to be, the pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure needs to be improved in this area. My time's up, and I thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming in and speaking tonight.
Yep.
Okay, next on the agenda is presentation and adoption of the 2025 City of North Bend Employee Handbook. I know last night during the work session, there was discussion over this. So is there a motion on number 6 on the agenda?
I move to approve the 2025 City of North Bend Employee Handbook, replacing the current 2016 version effective immediately.
Okay, I have a first from Councilor Jones and a second from Councilor Verboten. All in favor of accepting the presentation and adoption of the 2025 City of North Bend Handbook, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 7 is the 2025 Oregon Main Street Participation Agreement. Again, I was able to do this during the work session last night. So is there a motion on item 7?
I move to have the city council approve and enter into an agreement with the Oregon Main Street to carry out the North Bend Main Street program.
First from Councilor Schultz, a second from Councilor Slater. Is there any further discussion? Excellent presentation last night I saw by Ms. Stephanie Wilson. So if there's no further discussion, all in favor of the City Council to approve and enter into the 2025 participation agreement with Oregon Main Street to continue supporting this North Bend Main Street program, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Number 8 on the agenda is Senate Bill 1530. Is there a motion from the council?
I move to authorize the mayor to sign the contract with Business Oregon for the infrastructure construction of the Maple Leaf and Gloria Day projects. Council will not award associated construction contracts without both a developer agreement in place and assurances that either a time extension is granted or construction can be completed within the Business Oregon contract timeframe.
First from Councilor Jones and a second from Councilor Gargoden. Any further discussion or questions from the council? All right, seeing none, then all in favor of the motion to authorize the mayor to sign the contract with Business Oregon for the infrastructure construction of Maple Leaf and Gloria Day projects, and then that council will not award associated construction contracts without both a developer agreement in place and assurances that either a time extension is granted or construction can be completed within Business Oregon contract timeframe, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 9 on the agenda is the request by ODOT for night work. Is there a motion from the council?
I'll move to authorize the 2025 ODOT ADA ramp replacement project to perform work at night with the stipulation that noise be minimized by restricting demolition activities prior to 11 p.m.
First from Councilor Hamilton, a second from Councilor Gargoden. Any further discussion from the council? All right. All in favor to authorize the 2025 ODOT ADA ramp replacement project to perform night work with the stipulation that noise be minimized by restricting demolition activities prior to 11 p.m. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to number 10 on the agenda, with that is the authorization to hire Kuntz Machine. So is there a motion from the council?
I move to award the Pista Grid installation project in the amount of $9,700 to Coons Machine Shop.
First from Councilor Jones and a second from Councilor Hamilton. Any further discussion from the council? All right. All in favor to move to award the Pista Grid installation project in the amount of $9,700 to Coons Machine Shop, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion for number 11 on the agenda, the award of Monroe sidewalk replacements?
I move to authorize staff to contract with River Paving and Development for the Monroe Street Sidewalk Replacement Project in the amount of $49,990.
Okay, first from Councilor Gargoden,
Second.
second from Councilor Jones. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor to authorize staff to contract with Riverview Paving and Development for the Monroe Street Sidewalk Replacement Project in the amount of $49,990. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, I believe that takes us to number 12, which was there is no executive session, so we'll move on to the city administrator's report. I do see that you sent it out electronically already. Did you also want to speak to that?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Just a couple highlights, reminding folks that this weekend, January 18th, January 19th, is free ice skating at the ice rink, thanks to Marathon Rewards. That's our brand new gas station up here on Broadway. Also, we'll be sending the council a notice regarding the 2024 audit. Staff has been working with the auditors, but the auditors have basically created their own company, so it's the same auditors. The council picks their auditor, and so this is a change midstream of the audit, and so it's an interesting pickle to be in with. And so we want to notify the council what happened, how it happened, and why it happened, and why we feel comfortable going ahead and proceeding to finish the audit. But we'll be going ahead and put out for an RFP so that the council can decide whether or not they want to stay with this individual firm, the new firm, or new auditors. That'll be up to you. But we did want to get that out there and ahead of that. The library continues to have a little delay on its construction because service delivery, trying to get some of the equipment here. And then the head librarian has previously told you that we've identified some additional water intrusion. I want to give the streets department and the Parks Department a shout out for the most recent storms we've had. They've collectively removed 19 trees that were felled in the streets or the right-of-ways and had our streets opened up in no time. And I will tell you that Firewood for Vets is benefiting with a lot of donations of firewood. And we traditionally help and back up Coos Bay North Bend, vice versa. And so Sergeant Kinney was actually backing up Coos Bay recently while they were having a staff meeting. And while he was over there, his screen and his computer lit up like a Christmas tree. And he realized, oh my gosh, I've got a stolen vehicle thanks to my license plate reader. And so he solved that for Coos Bay. So that was great. And the Public Works Department is starting the initial groundwork for the new street sweeper. So we'll eventually go into research, bidding process, and then ultimately before the council for consideration. So that is the City Administrator's report, which brings you up to speed. It's a very lengthy one because it actually comes over from your last meeting in December.
Perfect, thank you. And I know those are always, people can find those on our city website as well, right?
Websites linked from our social media sites, yes.
No, okay, I appreciate that, thank you. And then is there any committee reports? Any committee reports? Okay, none? Then we'll go ahead and move on to council comments. We'll work this way and then move down that way. So this is a little bit different for 2025. Councilor Gargoni, you got nothing?
No.
Okay, great job on running the meeting.
Well, not as fast as you are.
Councilor Hamilton.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, it's really neat to see every time that the police and fire are doing their trainings and giving awards, and the guys are climbing the ladder. It's just really nice to see every week, or every week. It happens more often than not, put it that way. So congratulations to them, and I'm getting excited for the spring season. Nice weather. I was already hitting Stephanie up about the sickness roll, which is coming in March, so I'm getting ready already. It's January, so.
Okay, all right, Councilor Jones.
So I want to echo just being super impressed and proud of how our departments work together and collaborate and support each other, and it starts with the leadership all the way down to everybody. And I have a little story about Sergeant White. I walk around town all the time, and back a couple of years ago, when the camping ordinance was new and it was summer, so we had some transient peoples around, and I walked by watching two of our officers interact with somebody who's camping on right outside here. And they were gonna have to ask him to move. And I walked by and I noticed the absolutely calm composure of our officers, relaxed, ready to help, ready to tackle whatever might happen. They were fully loaded with all of their accoutrement of things to handle. The person is distressed and shouting, and you don't know what's going to happen, but our officers were completely composed, kind, ready to help. And I made a loop and walked back, and by the time I walked back, which was probably 20 or 30 minutes later, they were still in conversation, but it had turned into three people talking instead of a crisis. And just the fact that our teams operate on going to training and distributing that, and we have community resource officers rising up the ranks, and everybody is working together to support one another to add more. And this is throughout all of our departments. It's incredible, and it really benefits all of us. And I'm just so amazed by it. I really appreciate all of you so much.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilor Schultz.
I know that everyone, I feel like our staff is always super busy and overwhelmed, so it's very nice to recognize Lacey, because she is my person that when I do have questions, I usually start with her, and she's always so positive and helpful. And I thought that Brian did a great job last night coming and talking about the fire department, so I appreciate that as well. So I appreciate our staff so much.
Agreed, thank you. Councilor Slater.
Well, I have to say, this is my favorite time of year. I know as we would go through, people would give you a call and say, well, how are things? I'd say, it's been perfect all year. I think, it's only 6 days. Yeah, well, that's true, but it's been perfect all year as it works through. I appreciate the ceremonial pieces because I think it's important to celebrate excellence, celebrate performance, celebrate real dedication to what your job is and what things are part of there. And I just wanted to speak to our own public a little bit. We got a survey coming out very soon, of which each 2 years we go through a process of determining what our goals are, what are we doing, what are we focused at in this, and it's important for you to be part of that. So when you see the survey piece come out, do it when you see it and send it back and be part of that. And I would encourage you to be part of the whole process as it goes ahead. And one of the things I'm looking at, everybody here is a volunteer, and we have a lot of volunteers that we depend on. And really what I'd like you to do is invest in the city. And by that I say, I look down here and see North Bend Housing Authority has 2 vacancies, North Bend Planning Commission has 6 vacancies, the Budget Committee has 3 vacancies, Main Street says 7, but I think we filled almost all those things. But there are opportunities for you to be engaged in what this city does, and all of those are important. So I'd really think it through and spend some time for us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Councilor Torres?
I'm just really excited about the strategic planning and what that will give, or what direction we will take, and then all of the exciting things that have been going on with getting that huge grant that we got out of the whole nation. We were one of 25, correct, for the T-Mobile, and just all these different things, groundbreaking with housing and everything else that's going on. It's just really exciting time, I feel, to be a resident of North Bend. So I'm excited for this year.
Great. All right, agreed. So congratulations to our city recorder Macy and to Officer White and Sergeant Kenny. And I always, make sure that we also thank the families. If you are a public employee, you have a lot of sacrifice that you make. So whether you're work on the streets or you work with the police department, so always thank you to the families too that support the people that support the city. So we appreciate that. Yesterday, I was able to attend in my role as president of the League of Oregon Cities this year. I was invited to listen to the State of the State address at the Capitol, and there was a very heavy focus on housing, education, and mental health. And it was interesting to kind of look around that room, see all the different cities and counties and districts that are represented, and note that we all kind of have the same problems, but just on different scales. And so there was a moment where the executive director of the League of Oregon Cities and then myself had time with the governor, and I was sort of joking earlier, like, if you think I talk fast, like, wait until you see if I get 4 minutes in front of the governor. I talk really fast because I hit all the main points, and I talk about the Port of Coos Bay and how much that project would mean to us and what it would do for economic development, all of the downtown coast. And I heard you talk about education as a teacher. I'm really impressed by that because really it starts with education, and if we don't have good schools, then why are people not going to move here? And I put out an Excel spreadsheet about if you start with education, then it can impact everything in the community. And then I went ahead and went on to about housing, and I heard that you talked about housing and infrastructure and what that means to the community and how can you get people here. And I mean, there was a lot of head nodding, and so I appreciate that all of those points were made during that, and so now it's our job is to say, how do we get that money and funding back here? It's great to hear that in the address, but like, when you say housing, I'm thinking, what does that mean? So, Councilor Slater also serves on the League of Cities board with me as a past president, and he and I and Councilor Jones will be going in 2 weeks. So Councilor President Garboden will be running the meeting again, the work session and the council meeting, because the 3 of us will be gone. And then that becomes where an opportunity where we have more time with our elected officials, Boomer Wright, Senator Anderson. I'm working on setting up meetings with us or in a smaller capacity where we're like, specifically, how can we get that funding here? where like we're gonna really dig into that work and try to advocate for, really not only the city of North Bend, but the entire coast. We're also inviting Lakeside to be a part of those meetings with us as well, so we can feel like we can make a bigger impact and have a large voice for our small community. So I appreciate your patience this year. While I have this role as the president of the League of Oregon Cities, I will do my best. Like last night, I was able to listen to the work session the entire time, so thank goodness for technology. So when I can, if I'm not here, just know that I'll be either watching on a later date, but we'll be able to work it out. So I know Councilor Slater, in his role, he's been able to make it work before, and I'm sure that I'll be able to make it work too. So, good luck in 2 weeks. Okay. I think that's all I have right now. It's 2025, so it's 14 days in. Everything's going great. So that was our council comments. Let's go ahead and move on. There is another item of other business. So, I brought what my family calls the big calendar. They all get mad when I bring this out of the house, because I know that we're going to be talking about dates for things.
All right, so, Madam Mayor, Council, we have two intense work sessions coming up, and we need to make sure that we don't have any real major conflicts. I sent these out. The first meeting was proposed February 24th. The second meeting, they call meeting number 3, is March 10th. Madam Mayor, I think you had stated you have a conflict on the 10th. I did not hear from anybody else. And so the first question is everybody good on the work session, the 3-hour work session on February 24th? That's a Monday. And then as I mentioned, the Tuesday will be a combined work session business meeting.
So February 24th, Monday the 24th, you're looking for, like, what time would it just start?
That's 4:30 to 7:30.
Just 4:30 to 7:30, okay, so I'm good to go.
Is that for both the 24th and 25th?
The 25th is a different, we haven't talked about those.
Your 25th will be your normal 7 o'clock.
7?
Yes. So that's your normal, these are your normal work session / business, and then that way we didn't have to create a extra meeting, and put you all out. So everyone's good for the 24th, yes? All right. Madam Mayor, you said you had a conflict with the 10th. Is there anybody else that has a conflict with the 10th?
March 10th?
March 10th. That's 4:30 to 7:30 as well. The alternative meeting is April 7th for that meeting. And so, hearing that the mayor's got a conflict, this is obviously 2-year planning, so it's important to try to get the entire council there.
So Monday, April 7th,
Would be the alternative.
okay, and so that's off track from our normal work session. But I'm available on the 7th of April if everybody else is, so you can make that date work.
I'll be in my office, I guess.
Oh, so, yeah.
All right, so,
There's a part of me that feels like Councilor President would be okay. You'd be okay to listen to it while you're working?
oh, okay, all right. So the 7th is not actually off cycle. See, I plotted
Oh,
out the
you're right,
entire
it's
calendar.
not.
Because your charter is the 2nd and 4th Tuesday.
Yeah.
Work sessions actually don't exist in the charter. They're supposedly called by the city administrator. And so that's why you have work sessions, because I inherited this. And so your 7th is actually your normal work session. And for some reason it also says my wife didn't want to go that night, so. And the 8th, by the way, says that it's Joe Pierce's birthday. Okay, so there you have it. And then on the 9th, by the way, it's my dog's Cody's birthday. So anyway, enough of our family calendar.
So April 7th is the second day?
Yeah, so April 7th is actually your work session in April, and then your next work session is the 21st and then 22nd. So the 8th and the 22nd is your actual designated meetings, and so we do the Monday before.
Yeah.
And so in this case, the question is, can you be available April 7th? And I think
might be penciled, but is that the one we
So
do?
we only have one conflict.
So it's up to you as to, you can go with, you will have to decide, you want the 10 or you want the 7?
If you guys are okay with it.
We'll have the different
Okay.
you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
It's just a big
I mean,
gap
Larry-
between our two meetings, like from February to April.
Yeah,
all
it
the
just
time.
seems like a lot of
Well,
time.
there is a benefit to that, by the way, which I learned today.
What is it?
The benefit
What is it?
is that we could, they said that for some reason the survey could be open a little longer.
my God.
Yeah, too.
That's why.
Okay.
So there's actually a benefit to us that they conveyed to me.
I say we go with the April 7th, so that would be our, would we still have we would have a regular work session?
We can go to the regular council meeting.
No.
On the 8th.
Yeah, you'd have it combined.
Okay,
And,
Oh,
and-
because we have a council
and-
meeting on the
and-
8th.
And the agenda may or may not say work session, whatever, we're not gonna go down that path again. The software that we have, because we've had that in the previous council. So, but just know that you're gonna do it all in that meeting
The Tuesday.
as a full
Okay.
business meeting. So we're trying to keep the agendas light for those days.
yeah,
But, okay, all right, that's all from me, so we'll confirm and we'll follow up,
Okay.
in writing to you all,
but
thank
we'll
you.
put 4:30 to 7, knowing that we're gonna be here for 3 hours. Counselor Goodwin will be listening,
Yes,
listening while he works, yeah,
and, I think we're having liver and onions on the 24th.
okay.
Liver and.
Well, if that's, I'm not seeing any other items for other business, correct? So, right, nothing else? Meeting adjourned.